I'm now delighted to be speaking to head honcho here of the Engleson Country Club, Paul Fraser. How are you today, Paul?
I'm very well indeed, thank you.
The first question really, and the most obvious one, what gave you the idea for the Engleson Country Club?
That's a question I get asked all the time, Josie. It's a difficult one to answer, because the truth is that I'm not certainly from a horsey background.
Okay.
I've always been a wee bit wary of horses, to be perfectly honest, but unfortunately my wife and 3 daughters are all horse daft.
Lucky you.
Yes, indeed. So that's really where the thing came from. A previous life, work-wise. I was involved in many other types of companies, none of which had anything at all to do with catering or horses. But for 25 years, built about 13 different companies up all over the UK and Ireland, and felt, getting on a bit, that it might be time to spend a wee bit more time at home, a bit more time with the family. So we thought we'd perhaps look at getting a nice, gentle family business to spend more time together. But instead of that, we ended up buying Ingliston, and I've never worked so hard in my life. Whereas before it was 5 or 6 days a week, now it is 7 days or more. But great fun, great times, all the family are involved, and that's where it came from. So I was really kind of suckered into it with the family, and it's just kind of taken over all our lives, and that's how we ended up here.
And the facilities, part of them were here already, of course, but it really has grown arms and legs for you over the past few years. Can you tell us a bit about what ways you've changed the venue?
Sure. Well, when we bought the Engleson, it was actually a stud. It was a horse stud, and it was really, in effect, I mean, if you see the photographs, it was 5 tin sheds, 5 agricultural buildings. And really from there, what we decided to do was to develop things for the non-horsey fraternity as well. So we had the arenas that were used for competitions, for show jumping, dressage competitions, but there wasn't much else. There was a small catering outlet, but not much else. So we decided, right, let's posh it up a little bit and get some proper catering and things, and also with the gardens, the car parking, all these things you see now, these have all been put together over the last 6 years.
Okay. And do you have plans for further expansion? Can you tell us a bit about what is here in existence already, and what maybe your sort of 2 to 3 year plan is for the venue?
Sure. Well, what we have at the moment is we've just opened the new hotel, a 30-bedroom hotel, in the last few months. On top of that, we have the main restaurant, Palomino's restaurant, which is busy most days. Every weekend it's fully booked with horsey and non-horsey people alike. We have the Salerno suite, which is the Art Deco function suite that's very popular with weddings and also corporate events. We have some lodges, actual log cabins on the estate as well, that people stay over, as well as obviously all the horsey facilities, all the stables. We were stabling for 180 horses, as well as the outside arenas and all of that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. And do you have facilities for exhibitions and events here?
Well, funnily enough, we're actually talking about it at the moment. We've done a few events, a few exhibitions, and also a few retail things. We do a thing each year for Engleson Hospital where they have an arts and crafts fair, their Christmas cracker, and that's very popular. That brings in many thousands of people. Wow. To the centre. So that got us thinking, perhaps, especially in the summer months when people want to be jumping and riding outside, we've got these massive arenas here that perhaps we could utilise in other ways. So this year we're going to be looking at doing some other types of things in there. We're looking at a food and drink exhibition, perhaps also a country fair as well, and we're also speaking to Renfrewshire Council and a number of other the public bodies about putting together a Renfrewshire County Fair, not this year but perhaps next year, which will be making more use of both the inside and the outside. A kind of mini Blair Athol.
Oh, that sounds great, and it sounds like you're really covering bases for people who, as you said earlier, like yourself, maybe aren't exceptionally horsey or interested in horses that much. But I read, of course, that you can even get married here at Engleson now.
You can, absolutely. I mean, it's wedding central, especially in the summer months, where we can have 3 or 4 weddings a week now, and that's really just in the last 2-3 years. Has come about, and it's something we obviously do very well. It's a nice thing to have. It's also a nice vibe, you know, when there's weddings going on, and it does actually sit very well beside everything else we do. It's a bit different, you know, whether it's, you know, the couple are into horses or ponies, that really just by the by. But the fact that it's something different when they're on the champagne terrace, you know, they're looking out at horses, looking back at them and things like that. So it's something that's a wee bit different, a wee bit unique. No, weddings are a big thing that is part of the whole offering that we have here.
It is lovely, of course, because you effectively have a piece of the country, a lovely piece of the country, but you're very close to the city as well. Do you have wedding fairs for would-be brides?
We do, Josie, yeah, twice a year we have wedding fairs. Again, they're really popular, but there's a waiting list now for exhibitors to come and exhibit their wares. And yes, it's something that we have a bit of fun with as well. We have the fashion shows, and we have all the different type of music that's going on, and all the other kind of exhibitors, photographers, chauffeurs, and chauffeur different cars, all that kind of stuff. It all goes down. But no, weddings are something, as I say, that we never knew. We hadn't done any weddings 3 years ago. Now we do, it's well over 100 every year, and it does, as I said, it does actually mean that it can spins off into other things, because obviously there's a hotel. There's also, when guests come for weddings and things, they see the place. Hopefully they like the place and they tend to come back. So it's, as most of the marketing we do here at Ingliston, because it's such an unusual thing, there's nothing else like Ingliston anywhere in Scotland, never mind in the UK. So it's a difficult one for people to get unless they've been here and seen it for themselves. And what we tend to find is every time we have a wedding, we have at least 1 or 2 inquiries that come from that, for people who've been there. Similarly, when people come and they try the restaurant for the first time, more often than not, you'll see them coming back in a few weeks' time, usually with friends, and they're then taking them round and showing the place, which is nice.